This is the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 350 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to be talking about crafting your perfect blog about page. Before we do that, I want to make sure, though, that you have grabbed your Blog Like a Pro guide. And if you have not, you can hop over to the show notes. It is linked in the blog post, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Jenny_Melrose, and I will be happy to send that to you. Your blog's about page is absolutely one of the most important elements of your website. It's where you're going to tell your story, connect with your audience, and establish your brand. From crafting your story to highlighting your credentials, this is going to show you how to create the perfect blog about page. So the first thing that I want you to think about is what should be included on your blog's about page. It is meant to be about you, but I would recommend writing it in the third person. I wouldn't recommend writing it in first person. I would write it in third. So you're talking about yourself as calling yourself by name, your family, all of that. You also, when you are writing your about page, want to make sure that it includes your story of how you have overcome the problem that your audience has. So this is key to know your positioning and understand the problem that you solve for your audience, because you want to highlight this on your blog about page. Your blog about page should read similar to a sales page in that everything that you tell me on your about page should show me how it is going to help your audience. Your audience is the one that is going to be reading it. They're interested in knowing more about you, but they're interested in knowing about you and how you're going to solve their problems. So you want to make sure that when you put that about page together, that yes, you tell your story and how you have your expertise, but you want to connect it to the positioning that you've created for yourself on solving the problem that your audience has. You also, on this page, want to show how any past experiences that you have, credentials, expertise. So if you've done speaking engagements, if you have taught live workshops, any of those levels of expertise need to come out, because again, this is where you are highlighting the fact that you can solve their problem. And if you had done it at a higher level already, then that helps show that. This also includes if you have published a book, or you have ebooks, or you have courses, what is going to be most relevant. And I'm not telling you to list things off for your products page, but I'm telling you, like, if you've hosted a virtual summit, or you've hosted something that's going to show that you are looked upon as someone as an expert within your industry, that should go in your about page. You also want to make sure in your about page that you have a call to action. What do you want them to do? How should they actually connect with you? And we're going to go more into depth about that in a bit. You want to make sure that when you are doing your about page, in order to make it memorable, that you tell the stories that are behind it. So if you have struggled with what it is that you now solve, let's say, for example, body image is what you talk about on your site, and that's what you do coaching on and have courses on. I want you to tell me your story, how you struggled with body image and how you overcame that. What was that shift that you learned that you now teach to others that is going to show me that? This goes across the board. If you are a food blogger and you have an ebook or a course, or you don't even have a product or service yet, but you're creating recipes that are going to bring families together because it brings traditional Italian recipes to the forefront on their tables, tell me that story of you. How did you grow up? What was it like to be around your Italian family and the food that was on the table? What do you miss about that? Maybe you had a connection with your grandmother. This gives people the opportunity to really see you as a person and then show them how you are going to solve the problem from them. So in order to make it memorable, you have to tell those details that are going to provide me with a story that I can easily connect to. When you are creating that story, You want to be able to expand upon it. Give as much information as you can so they can have a clear picture of the problem that was solved. So like I said, with the Italian family, what was that connection that you had maybe with your grandmother that you're missing now, that now you're creating those recipes in her memory to be able to bring that back more for other families? Really think about why you are creating the content that you are creating. This is why we talked about blog niche ideas a couple weeks ago, because it's important that you are within that niche and that it is coming from a level of expertise and passion. It will make it that much easier to create your about page when you do so. You also want to be able to talk about that level of expertise that you may have. Maybe you have an advanced degree. One of the things that I talk about in my about page is the fact that I'm a former inner city school district teacher. It makes me an excellent educator, an excellent teacher up for others because I have that teaching experience. It also makes other teachers quickly connect with me because they know that I have been in the field, I have done the things and figured a way in which I didn't have to be a teacher anymore in the classroom, but now can do it for myself within my business. So being able to show that level of expertise is going to be important, and talking about not only just simply listing, I have this degree, where I've done this, and this, but how, again, does it connect and solve the problem for your audience based upon the needs that they have? When you are putting together your about page, you don't want to simply list off the things that you have. You don't want to simply just tell me about your family and do a profile. I don't want it to read like a dating profile where you're telling me I like long walks on the beach and my family and I enjoy doing this trip and that trip. I want you to show me how you are different, but also connect it to the problem that you solve for the audience, because that's why they're coming to your about page. This is also true if you are trying to use your about page to do any sorts of sponsorships with brands. Tell me how you have worked with other brands. Maybe you've done, you're a travel blogger and you've done trips before, or maybe you actually organize trips for others. Tell me that on your about page so that I can see that level of expertise that you have, and it also will connect to a problem that I need solved for me. And the final piece when you're creating your about page is to make sure that you have a call to action at the end. What do you want them to do? Do you want to know about the products that you offer? Do you want them to be able to go to your services page? I personally don't simply recommend putting your social media accounts there, all listed out so they can just go follow you on those. That's not relevant. If it's me, I want you to offer them your opt-in. What is the most relevant thing that you can give them that is going to grow your email list? And again, should be connected to the problem that you are solving. You'll notice that this is something that I continually talk about because it is the most important piece in keeping people with you and wanting to continue to be readers of your content. So think about how you can offer them an opt-in that's in line with what you have shown as your expertise and the problem that you solve for them. All right, you guys, if you haven't already grabbed my Blog Like a Pro guide, please make sure that you do so. As well as if you haven't already left a rating and review, I would so appreciate it if you took the time to do so. Just scroll down in your podcasting app, leave a quick rating, and then one sentence review telling me what your biggest takeaway was from this episode. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you all then.